this evening. Comrade Keke, welcome and good evening to the program.
Thank you very much. Good evening, IP, and good evening, viewers out there.
Good to see you. Confirm you are okay.
We are more than okay. The good Lord is faithful and still watching over us. That much we can confirm that we are doing extremely well.
Right. Let's start from where the fire started. You, a few days ago, or rather some weeks ago, you issued a statement, a video, which was basically a generic video, of which you declared that you are ready to serve as a leader. The Zambian people are asking themselves rather, I'm also asking myself that you are already a leader and then you are ready to serve. What did you mean in that video?
Well, let me start by indicating that there is a history behind that video. If you go back to my Facebook page, sometime in July, I posted a video of my dear daughter, Kaunda, who I am mentoring in the area of marketing. When you look at that video, I was impressed with her delivery. And I learned something from her. And so, as I was having a conversation with my daughter, I says, look, I think your marketing skills are above your age. I have learned something from you, and I'm going to use your skills. My daughter in that video, which was posted sometime in July, she introduces herself, and I'm Kaunda. When you check the video I did, I begin by introducing myself. Hello, I'm Kelvin Kaunda. As you may be aware, IP, I am a businessman. And in business, you must learn the art of marketing. Because any businessman is not worthwhile if they are unable to make a simple sale. You can never be a successful businessman unless you've learned the art of being able to make a sale. So my daughter and I have been having this conversation about how to become a successful entrepreneur. And that's where it was started. And when she delivered a fantastic video, as a father, I was super proud of her. So as I was saying, sometime in July, I posted a video. It's there on my official Facebook page. And that's why it was started. But then it got me to realize that next year is a political year. And the Zambian people will be looking for political products. Who are the political products? The councillors, the MPs, the mayors, the running mates, and ultimately the president. And as a marketer, who is also a politician, I realize nothing stops me from profiling myself. After all, we don't have as many months ahead of us before this country gets to decide about their national leaders, gets to choose their national leaders rather. So that is the background to it. And indeed, we were able to do something. And I'm sure as you are, as the viewers may have seen, I mean, it was purely about self-profiling. It was purely about presenting myself for leadership. There is nowhere in this video, which has been televised, where I said or declared a bid for power. The statement was about readiness to serve. Wherever I'm called to serve, whether inside or outside. Because leadership is not just about titles. It's about responsibility. Unfortunately, it was taken out of context, weaponized, even by those who feared what it represented, a new generation of leadership.
With the fact that on this program, we don't leave anything to chance, we would want to clear everything. You've given an example of your daughter, Kaunda. I know your daughter very well. And as you were speaking, I went back to the internet and I came across that video you are talking about. I don't know if it would be appropriate for me to air that video.
Sure, why not?
I want authority from you as a father.
Of course, why not? Because we want the public good to know the truth.
Right.
Because people have been asking, what was the motivation?
Right.
And I'm here to tell the Zambian people that the motivation behind the video I did was nothing but purely the talent and purely the skills of my dear daughter. That's what motivated me to do that video.
Right. So hold on. Let's watch the video together with the viewers of Chilombo Kaunda, the daughter to Kelvin Kaunda.
Hello everybody, my name is Chilombo Kaunda and I'm going to be telling...
All right. That's a video you were citing.
Exactly. That's a video. And you could see the similarities between our introduction and my introduction.
Right. So where do you think this noise is coming from? Because really what is being projected now is that clearly Kelvin Kaunda, he may want to take over the party from Dr. Fred Membe or from Socialist Party. I think you remember a few days ago, Dr. Fred Membe, he appeared on an online podcast of Emmanuel Mwamba, one of the gurus in the media, our fellow journalists as well. And according to him, first of all, let's just establish this. You were invited by Emmanuel Mwamba so that you would appear on that interview. You made an invitation to Emmanuel Mwamba to accommodate you to appear on that program. And your invitation was turned down by Ambassador Mwamba.
Look,
what did you want to speak on that podcast?
I am extremely disappointed that a media guru such as Emmanuel Mwamba will still continue being sustained by peddling lies. I want to put it on record, and there's evidence to that effect.
Right.
That when I released that video, the first person to run a propaganda agenda was Emmanuel Mwamba. He posted, and I'm sure that post is still there. If he has dropped it, we still have screenshots, that I had declared myself for president and that I'm going to stand as an independent president. The Zambian people have watched the video. When you compare what is in the video against what Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba posted, you'll be able to see the disparity. What he posts and what the content in the video was completely unrelated. That is line number one. The moment I posted that, he ran with a narrative. And it's there on his Facebook page. I don't want to accuse people needlessly so. Kaunda declares himself for president and that I'm going to stand as an independent candidate. Where in the video did I say I was going to stand as an independent president? Where in that video? Because and that video is public knowledge because it is on my Facebook page. There is nowhere from A to Z where I ever got to say I was going to stand as an independent, I was going to stand as a president too. For the sake of the viewers, I also want to bring it on record that Emmanuel Mwamba and my dear leader, Dr. Fred Membe, are related. I don't know whether he was doing it out of a relationship or was doing it out of professionalism.
What do you mean when you say they are related?
No, asking them. I mean, I've met Comrade Emmanuel Mwamba, and he has told me Dr. Fred Membe is related. He himself is related to Dr. Fred Membe. Right. Dr. Fred Membe has told me equally that Comrade Emmanuel Mwamba is related to him. And we are all African at the end of the day. There's nothing wrong about us being related. The issue is when you are acting in a professional space, what is it that is informing your action? Is it your professionalism or your personal relationship? And that's where we need a separation. Why would a seasoned politician, journalist such as my dear brother Emmanuel Mwamba run a false narrative? I have heard from others that no, your brother is a propagandist, and I've always been defending him. But with what I've seen now, maybe I was wrong to think that he wasn't, because the video is out there. People can simply report. I believe in journalism, there are ethics, there are best practices. Is it your responsibility to report outside the content, the content which has been delivered to you? Is it your responsibility to alter the narrative of your sources? It isn't. Even if I'm not a journalist, the media best practices is that you deliver the message without manipulating it. So that's point number one. Number two, I noticed when you hosted my dear leader, Dr. Fred Membe, he pushed up another lie. That I contacted him. That I called him, asking him to feature me. The entire requesting for space. Look, I don't need Emmanuel Mwamba's page in order for me to communicate a position. I found 3 missed calls, and again I have evidence.
Right.
And I will show it to you. There were 3 missed calls from Comrade Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba at around 14 to 15 hours. I only retained his call at 18-15 hours on the 1st November.
Which was a Saturday.
Yes, which was a Saturday. I think that's the day when I released the same video. No, first October, somewhere there.
Yeah.
And there's evidence to that effect. I will print out and show the Zambian people. There has never been a moment when there's never been a moment when I called Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba to be featured on his platform. Never. Even if I had bundles to waste, I wouldn't do that. Even if Zamtel or MTN gave me free bundles, I wouldn't do that. And I don't do that. I do not do that. If you see a post going out, it's because the people are posting wants to share it. So it was very unfortunate that a media guru, as I'm told he is, who would stretch would stretch things out of context. The Zambian people are not unwise. There was a moment when people can be manipulated. There was a period when media houses would create an agenda or set an agenda and they would deliver their own agenda. Now our people are much more informed. Now our people are much more conscientized. They can never be lied to. They are able to read between lines that this one is telling the truth. And I want to challenge Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba to publish the WhatsApp call record. I have a record where it shows, and I'll show it to you, IP. 15 hours, missed call from Emmanuel Mwamba. 18 hours, I retained a missed call. So when I was watching that interview, my heart was broken. Because there are not many men in the political space. There are not many men in the media space who can stand and defend the truth. I would rather be condemned by standing for the truth. So to see position being changed and lies being told is very unfortunate. And I hope my dear brother Emmanuel Mwamba will come back and tell the Zambian people the truth that yes, I tried to get a hold of him. And twice, not once, more than once. And eventually he retained my call. That is the correct position. And I would have appreciated that during that program he had with Comrade Fred Membe, that's a narrative he should have stated.
So basically what you are telling me and the viewers out there is that it was he, Emmanuel Mwamba, who called you, who insisted to call you because he wanted you to feature on his podcast. Exactly. Not you calling him.
No. Well, my brother, ask Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba, when was the last time I ever called him? Not this year, not 2 years ago, not 3 years ago. It's a long time. Him and myself would meet here and there. Because we both used to belong to PF. And at one point I visited the Zambian embassy in South Africa. At the time I was an ambassador. Not because I followed him, because I had a business with the embassy. So nothing personal. I don't have a personal relationship. But we have a talking relationship. That's how far our interaction with Honorable Comrade Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba.
Would you say in his capacity as a media expert, Emmanuel Mwamba, he lied or he accused you when he was hosting Dr. Fred Membe? Because I think what came out was that the video you had released prior to the interview they had on Saturday according to him, he said he clearly analyzed you, the posture, you know, the dress code and everything, which clearly points to you declaring interest for presidency.
Look, first and foremost, Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba is entitled to his own opinion. But one thing I can say is that he was wrong. And again, I'm a bit disappointed that Ambassador has such a huge following. And he was hosting one of the big politicians,
Yeah.
a president in waiting, Comrade Dr. Fred Membe. And all he chooses to do, instead of discussing in national matters, he reduces national leadership to a posture, to a photo, to a delivery of a video, to a bus. When this country wants to listen to our leaders in terms of what they're going to do if given an opportunity to save this country. So he reduces the entire conversation to a photo, to a presentation, to a video. Surely, how did that benefit the Zambian people? After discussing the bus, President, did you see the bus? Comrade, when I was councillor in Matero, I had two Marco Polo buses servicing the people of Matero, helping them during their moment of grief for free. I had to withdraw those buses, comrade, when my dear brother Mao Sampa was elected as an MP. And the reason was simple. I didn't want to be seen as if I was still in a campaign mode. I wanted to give an opportunity to my dear brother Mao Sampa to work. So today, the bus should be an issue at a time when this country is making decision as to who must be elected to be part of the national leadership of this country. And you reduce the whole conversation about, the Marco Polo, the way it was branded, the posture. It's like the way, it's like the pictures that Johnson was released. Surely, we can't look better. We can't dress properly. Our dress code must be a crime. We can't have a proper deliverable message, a proper delivered message. We can't look nice. It's a crime in this country. It's wrong. It's bad to dress appropriately. It's wrong to take good pictures. And you, as a media guru, find it fashionable to make that as a subject matter at such a critical moment as this. Very regrettable indeed.
Let us watch just some snippets of what a conversation was of Dr. Fred Membe, your president in SP, and that of Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba, because on my program, The Big Hour, I believe in giving context and evidence to everything we talk about. So let's watch the video. Then
we decided to drop him from the Politburo and let the dust settle.
That is true, Mr. President, because when I saw the pictures of Comrade Kelvin in what would appear presidential portraits, the pictures were sent to me and the video was sent to me, and that he was offering himself for service, similar to the words that senior lawyer and state counsel John Sango had used, that is available for service. Kelvin used similar words, and he had asked that he comes to EMV. So I was a bit unsettled. I said, is there competition in the Socialist Party? Haven't they just come to from conference? And I remember getting in touch with you, and I said, one of your members wishes to come to my program. I have no problem, but what is this? You were in Burkina Faso, and you just laughed about it.
right, thank you so much. Now, Kelvin Kaunda, that's a video I played there just to justify what you were talking about and of course, your submissions. Now, when you look back and you realize that it's been now 3-4 days, you lost your position, you were stripped off. as the man who was quite powerful in SP. You were among the decision makers. Fred Membe, he cracks the whip against you and he says you are no longer one of us in terms of the Politburo. Would you say it was worth it for you to do that video you did, perhaps? Or holding that press briefing?
It was worth it, yes, absolutely so. But it is also strange that people decided to twist the narrative. Very, very strange. There was a lot of false statement which came out of that. Maybe it is important for me maybe to try and give some background.
Please do.
To that press briefing.
Yeah.
Now, I want to tell the Zambian people that a day before that press briefing, me and Dr. Fred Membe had a conversation which lasted for almost about 2 to 3 hours. Remember, at the time I released the first video, which has now been taken out of context. Dr. Fred Membe was out of this country. So when I met him, that must have been on Friday.
Right.
Me and Dr. Fred Membe talked about many things, which I can't share on this platform for obvious reason that those were personal conversations.
Right.
At the end, we went through all those things. He asked me about the video, he told me about his trips and many other things which we had shared. At the end of the day, we concluded our conversation on the point of the impending press briefing. And he tells me, this is a good idea. In fact, I will ask my Deputy Secretary General to be present.
Right.
When you check the video for the press briefing, the gentleman on my right is the Deputy Secretary of the party. And we are privileged to also have the Kaunda Belt Provincial Chairman, as well as the Luapula Provincial Chairman. The people who came there were party structures. The party was aware.
That's a video we're able to see there?
Yes.
Right.
Everybody else was aware. We agreed on the message, and the message was delivered as agreed. It is very surprising that after the message had been delivered, people begin to twist the facts. Much of it, they can't even prove it. This is now the 4th day, because today's Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
It's the 4th day from the time we held that press briefing. None of them can prove anything, because there's nothing to prove. What is being peddled is falsehood. What is, and you know, unfortunately in this country, lies spread faster than the truth. And that's how narratives are shaped. They're shaped by design, not by accident. Such is what really is what transpired. So to hear the narrative being, pushed is rather unfortunate, very, very unfortunate. Even when I've decided, look, this is the first time I'm appearing on a show, and the reason is simple. When all this happened, I got a call from Dr. Cosmas Musmari. My brother, don't go to the media until we've met. Wait for me, I'm out of town.
Right.
So I've only accepted your invitation to feature on your program because yesterday, which is a Monday, I reached out to Dr. Cosmas Musmari.
Right.
He has not yet picked up my call. And yet he requested me
Right.
that when he's back, all I saw yesterday was him having a press briefing. Have I met him yet? Not as yet. Will I meet him? Maybe yes, maybe no.
Have you tried to contact him?
Look, I already tried. So if he tries to reach out to me, maybe I will be able to meet him. Or maybe not. It will depend.
So you were telling me that Dr. Fred Membe was aware of your press conference prior to the material day. What was the agenda of that press briefing? What was the content?
There were many things we were to deal with. we dealt with issues of party mobilization. He dealt with voter registration and other party interests.
Right.
At the end of the day, the narrative changed. Kaunda has converted a press briefing into a Congress because people were tying my initial video where I had indicated that I'm ready to serve, ready to listen, and ready to lead. I don't know if this video had created some agitation around, some mistrust around. And so when I look around, and when I look back, this issue is nothing but an issue of mistrust. It's purely an issue of mistrust. Because if the president was aware that I'm going to have this program and a different narrative is taken out, which can never be proved, and which can never be confirmed, and the party decides to take a position premised on things that they are unable to prove, what is it? It only tells me one thing, that the element of mistrust has been pushed very high.
In your party?
Maybe yes, but we amongst ourselves.
I want us to understand the video which is being talked about right now, because it is what actually has brought out a lot of dust around. So let's play this video of Kelvin Kaunda at the time he held a press conference. We listen and pick out something from there.
Congress or this meeting to interact with our various structures from far and wide. We want to listen to you so that ultimately our decisions moving forward as a party will be premised on your voice and nothing less but your voice. After I delivered my short speech, we will request our colleagues from the media to leave us in peace as we continue to interact and speak to each other on a one-by-one basis. With that said, fellow revolutionaries, fellow leaders in the struggle, permit me now to speak to you through the written speech. Fellow citizens, as the nation prepares the 13th August 2026 general elections, I wish to take this opportunity to urge all eligible Zambians to register as a vote. We are saying all, not some, but all. I want to take this opportunity to urge to all Zambians to take up their civic responsibility and be able to register as voters. Voting is not only a fundamental right, but also a patriotic responsibility. It is through the power of the ballot that citizens shape the leadership and destiny of our nation. Every Zambian who desires change, progress, and justice must ensure that they are on the voters' register. There is no any other way you can voice out as a citizen of this great country in prospect other than through the ballot. Zambians are known for peace. Zambians are known for orderliness, and we've demonstrated time without numbers that indeed we are but a peaceful nation. And the only way we communicate our position when it comes to choosing our leaders is through voting. And therefore, I would like to take this opportunity to appeal to the Gen Z, to the young people, to the old, to the male and the female folks, to ensure that we, all of us, have a voter's card. So that as we head towards the 2026 general election, we will participate in choosing the leaders for this great country in prospect. The right to complain about governance failures or economic hardship is only meaningful if backed by action. And that action begins with registering as a voter. As the Socialist Party, we are determined to take this message to every corner of the country. As the Socialist Party, we are determined to take this message to every corner of our country. We believe that Zambia deserves a leadership rooted in equity, social justice, and people-centered development. I repeat, we believe that Zambia deserves a leadership rooted in equity, social justice, and people-centered development. To achieve this, every supporter, sympathizer, and progressive citizen must participate in the upcoming election. In order for us to be able to achieve this, it is necessary that we all participate in the upcoming general elections. In this regard, I wish to announce that we are available and ready.
Right, you are welcome. This is the bigger program, and my guest on the program is Comrade Kelvin Kaunda. So that's a video there. Was there any statement you wrote beyond what has been delivered there in your video?
Oh,
because what was really
what would be the value of a statement?
Exactly. What was really
If it was
confusing?
delivered.
Yeah, what was really confusing was that the video is speaking to something else. You urging your members to go and register as voters, and then a few minutes later or hours later, a statement, a very strong statement, is circulating on social media. What was the issue here?
I have no explanation. Maybe those who were acted on the statement can render a convincing explanation.
And a lot was said about you. On the very day we are being told that right now it's like there were people who were actually monitoring you, you know. we're updating the country via social media that right now they have gone to hold a convention or a conference or a congress somewhere.
Yeah. Look, even when we, after the press briefing, we went to have lunch, there was a post on Emmanuel Mwamba again, among other aligned pages. As we speak right now, they're actually having an elective Congress. So lunch now is construed as an elective Congress. And today is, again, I want to repeat, is day number 4. I want to challenge those who have been driving this narrative. Show us something. Do you have something to show? Because it's very unfair to allege many things about somebody, and yet you're not able even to prove it. I know my dear brother, for instance, said, look, and I'm very sorry, my dear brother, Emmanuel Mwamba, I keep on referring to your page, because this is where much of this contact, this is where I see much of this communication. One moment he posts, oh, right now there is actually Congress going on. Look, after the press briefing, people were being dispersed by the key leaders of our party. There were some councillors who had come through because I needed to have a meeting with them. For some former councillors, rather. The one I was privileged to serve with from 2016 to 2021. So they were present there. And there, after the press briefing, we decided to go and have some lunch. What do we see on Emmanuel Mwamba's page? Right now, as we speak, right now, there's an elective Congress. So the question is, so, from that elective Congress, who has been voted as a president? Am I the president or someone else? If it's so when will that Congress declare such a president? Look, you can fool people sometime. but you cannot fool people all the time. The Zambian people are much more intelligent than our individual intelligence. If you have an agenda, state it the way it is. I have an agenda to save, to listen, and to lead. Is it wrong for the young person to present themselves for a position of leadership? Is that the only crime I've committed in that video, which has been taken out of context? Where so many hired guns have been mobilized to drive a particular narrative? We know, we've been in politics long enough. And it's unfortunate that even some small boys have been hired, given 20 kwacha, 30 kwacha to insult me. And let me take this opportunity that I've been very tolerant, because every leader must be tolerant. And I want to speak to those young people within the Socialist Party who have been given my 50 kwacha, 13 kwacha to insult me. That too, everything has got an expiry date. Power, authority is got an expiring date. I do not want to come for any of those. Because even the people who are giving them 5 kwacha, 3 kwacha, who fail to defend them. Because if you are going to insult me and be malicious, look, I have spent a lot of time building up my name. I will not allow any fool to destroy my credibility on the premise of lies. Now I'm tolerant. I've never spoken for the past 4 or 5 days. But don't push me too far. Don't think my silence must be translated into a weakness. And don't think I'm a weak individual anyway. But as a leader, you must learn the art of being patient. And I'm in this period where I'm patient and tolerant with the people. But my dear brother, the young people who are being paid my 50 kwacha, 13 kwacha to create a narrative, they're simply destroying you, those who are paying you. They don't mean well. If you have facts against me, pitch up your facts. That's how it works. When I say the ambassador called me, I have facts. I will show you. You, IP, I will show you. In fact, my phone is right there, across. If you insist, I can put it and show you. He's a missed call. When I say I met Comrade Dr. Fred Membe on Friday, it's true. That's why he has, partly in some of his interviews, he has confirmed. We authorized that meeting. I'm not malicious. And Comrade Fred Membe knows that I'm an honest person. I respect friendship. And in some interviews, he has indicated my relationship with Comrade Fred Membe are premised on trust. We've trusted each other. There are many things we've had conversation on, which are only known between me and him. And he gave me a few other assignments, which I was supposed to execute on Saturday after the meeting. He knows. But because Emmanuel Mwamba wants to appear to be a good man, because he's related to Comrade Dr. Fred Membe, he wants to mislead him. You heard from that Emmanuel Mwamba verified. Well, President, you remember I called you that one of your members was trying to reach out to me. And you laughed out. And look at even the way he was asking questions. A qualified journalist asking leading questions. Is it your duty as a journalist to ask leading questions? Or your duty is basically to pose questions and allow your host to answer questions the best way they know how? That's leadership. It's embarrassing, to say the least, that you ask even a junior graduate who would see it that, look, this is not a way to ask a question. Why do you want to sink so low? Uncle Emma, your name is a brand. Sustain your brand. Do the right thing. That's the only way we sustain our brands, is by doing the right thing. We want the emerging journalists to learn from you. Don't make compromises. Even if it means you going to bed on an empty stomach, don't make compromises. The future journalists will appreciate you much more.
You have repeatedly talked about living in a country or a culture which fears ambitions. Look, when the Socialist Party was formed around in 2018, I was among the few journalists that, of course, went to cover the official unveiling of the Socialist Party. You came out with a bang. You know, Zambians said, here comes socialism or Socialist Party, which is going to liberate Zambians from this economic malaise. But now it appears that your party, based on the information we have gotten even from some former members or senior members of Socialist Party, they will tell you that Socialist Party, you seem to be immune to dissent views. In as much as you are promoting, or rather preaching, about democracy intra-party, you know, democracy internally, there seems to be hot. You seem to be quite a bitter individuals where criticism is concerned. Why is it so? Is that a feeling you have, maybe from your end?
You have stated, IP, that some former members have given that position. They have stated, that's not my position, that's not me, but they have stated. And we must respect what they have stated. So they have said it, I haven't said it.
Right. Let's go about, maybe before we get to the other question, I will just give you a follow-up question regarding the press briefing that you held. There's a fear or some feelings that you are a compromised man. And there's a huge allegations going on right now, even in that interview which your boss actually held with Ambassador Mwamba. It was brought out that you are a compromised person. You might have gotten some monies from the ruling party. And then I'm asking myself, Kelvin Kaunda, you got about 3 million kwacha. My question is, how did you use that money? How did you spend that 300 million kwacha?
You know, I don't know where this desperation is coming from. I don't know what is driving this desperation. Comrade, again, I have proof. And those we are on the air right now. Yeah. And I know that there are colleagues who works at Zanaco. Yeah. And I want to, if any one of you, as a relative, even a friend, who works at Zanaco, they will be able to confirm or to tell you that on Saturday, I made a withdrawal over 50,000 kwacha from my personal account. How much? 50,000 kwacha. This was a party program. Did the party give me money? No. Is this the first time that I was doing this? No. Did the party approve of the program? Yes. And yesterday, I shared the withdrawal slip with the Secretary General, Dr. Cosmas Musumari, to show him that, look, this is the withdrawal slip. On Saturday, I'm getting money from my personal account. Remember, the said meeting was on 1st November. I had just been paid. I work also, comrade. I have an income, monthly income. So I had just received my salary. And it's from that salary that I had to sacrifice for the party. It's from that salary that I had to spend on behalf of the party. Comrade Dr. Fred Membe is on record. He has told the Zambian people, I authorized that meeting. This is not the first time I was doing it. I'm only saying it now to be able to dispel the propaganda out there.
The event held on Saturday, you spent or used your personal money?
My personal money in the morning. And it's not the first time.
Right.
Look, a political party is supported by its own members because it doesn't generate resources. If our little resources, we can't use it to support the cause of the party, who will? Does the party have companies? No. Does the party generate resources? No. Who supports the activities of the party on association? It's the members through their contribution. The various members would contribute a 2 kwacha, a 3 kwacha, a 5 kwacha, depending on their capacity. Understanding and realizing that this was an important event, I went out of this world to sacrifice our family resources, part of my salary, for the party cause. And what do I see thereafter? I've been paid by the UPND 3 million. Okay. If I've been paid, can you show the Zambian people the evidence? I will show you the evidence. And I'm pushing this challenge out there. Please, anyone who has a relative working for Zanaco, let them counter check these facts. Because see, you can only drive some propaganda to a certain extent. Beyond that, you can't even prove it. The facts I'm stating here, I can prove them. And even right now, I have a copy at the end of this interview. I'll share it with you, IP. And if anyone else cares to know the truth, let them call you. I'll leave that copy with you. That's how leaders behave. When I put up a position, it must be backed by evidence. It doesn't help simply to put up propaganda intended to destroy someone else. What is it going to benefit you? So those of you who are saying I got a 3 million from the UPND, what do you have to show for it? And how many times, so by the way, how many times are you going to accuse the UPND? Yes, we know there are things the UPND are not doing right. Those they must be called out. But you see, every problem now is being attributed to the UPND. Even your own propaganda is being, which you have no evidence for, you're attributing it to the UPND, surely. And let them check all my accounts. They claim, no, they have intelligence reports. I want to challenge them. Go and check all my accounts. Comrade IP, I'm a businessman. I am privileged to be among the few Zambians in this country who are considered as a premium client by ZRA. If you have relatives who work for ZRA, go and ask them, what is my monthly tax contribution to ZRA? And I must fall for a 3 million or a 1.5. My hands have held money. I've seen money. Money doesn't excite me. In my video, I said I was raised amidst ordinary citizens who struggles to send their children to school, to put food on the table. Money doesn't move me. Does it mean I've not held money? No, I've held money. You know me for one company. I have a number of companies in this country beyond what you know, even outside this country. So to be able to reduce me to a level that I'm capable of selling myself for 3 million is unfortunate. I am humble, yes. Many people have told me that. But don't be deceived by humility. These hands have held money. These hands touches money.
Wow. Let's talk about your suspension. I mean, the charge which has been slapped on you. Your position has been stripped off, according to the party. And when I listened to your leader, Dr. Fred Membe, said, look, if people do not want me to lead them, I'm available to pave way for them, but do not come to me with some ill motives. You know, do not plot a coup or anything, some ulterior motives. That will not cooperate. Now, I'm taking to the situation where what you may be calling a suppression, or what some people are calling suppression upon you, is basically discipline. That's how it appears. Dr. Membe and the Socialist Party, they seem to be disciplining any member who seem to be misbehaving, for lack of better words, to keep the party intact. We have seen a lot of members that have been suspended, others have been fired. It is what has just happened to you. You've been stripped off your position, very big position, Politburo member.
Look, if saving the people of this country will cost me position, if pitching myself up for leadership will cost me position, if presenting myself for leadership will cost me position, so be it. Because that is a sacrifice or a price I should be able to pay. Look, when you say there's an aspect of discipline,
Yeah.
who's being disciplined?
Yourself.
what offense or wrong have I done? You only discipline a member who was erred. But even if you are going to discipline a member,
Yeah.
there are procedures. Write to them, ask them to exculpate themselves, present them before a disciplinary committee. Was any of these things done? The purported Congress finished around 13 hours. 2 hours later, I was fired. Wow, interesting. The rule of natural justice demands that no one, and I'm repeating, no one must be judged unheard. Comrade Fred is a lawyer. Our own party, the Socialist Party, is anchored on 3 principles: justice, equity, and peace. We call it JEP. So where is the justice when you have not given me a latitude to be heard? There is an accusation on the other hand. Why don't you give me a platform to explain myself? Is it hard? Why did we take a decision in a hurry? Was it a matter of life and death? What could have happened if that decision was stayed for the next 3-4 hours? Could someone have died? Leadership teaches us patience, tolerance, and fairness.
Are you telling me that the people who sat and approved your demotion did not exercise patience? That's what you are telling me.
Look, the narrative or the writing is on the wall. 13 hours, the press briefing is done. By 14-15 hours, we are reading on various social media platforms, including my dear brother Emmanuel Mamba's page, Kaunda is fired. Today, you are listening to OTFM. We only dropped him. I'm confused. I don't know whether Emmanuel Mamba says I was fired. Today, Dr. Fred Membe says no. We only dropped him from being a member of what? Political Bureau. The rest of the position have been sustained. We have not expelled him. So, and this is why I am appealing to my dear brother Emmanuel Mamba. And the entire media fraternity through him. When you are reporting these things, did you ask the leadership? Did you have an interview with the leadership? Did they tell you had been fired or expelled? Because this morning, Dr. Fred Membe, yesterday morning, Dr. Fred Membe was on NotFM, during which, again, he said many things. But towards the end of the program, he says, and he confirms that me and him are supposed to meet together with other leaders to speak to our issues. And during which he also stated that I was merely dropped and not expelled. I'm still a member. And depending on how our meeting would go, whether I want to stay and so on, is what is going to inform how they're going to treat me. Whether to treat me as an enemy of the Socialist Party, whether to treat me as a friend, or whether to treat me as a betrayer. Yet outside that narrative, Kaunda has been fired. I was laughing this morning. I saw a post again on the page for my dear sister, Lily. Says, Millionaire Kaunda fired by Fred Membe. So right now I'm actually in a state of confusion. I'm not sure whether I've been fired, because the media are reporting that I've been fired. The president of the party says, he was not expired. Neither was he what?
Expelled.
So who's telling the truth? Who must I believe?
Are you in touch with Doc over these issues, these concerns? Because really, if you ask me, you share a very close relationship with Dr. Membe, of which even he confessed that we've been talking to to Kelvin Kaunda on the material day. He actually called you, wanting to meet you. He wanted actually to follow you wherever you were at that particular moment, and you insisted that, according to my culture, I cannot allow you to follow me. I'm supposed to follow you. Now, my question is, when you raise all these concerns, have you ever shared with Dr. Membe over some of these burning issues that may be happening in your party?
Yes, we have. I have shared the concern, and privately so. I told you we had a conversation on Friday, during which we spoke about the video even.
Right.
And the misunderstanding around the video. Yes, he tried to call me after I was dropped. I don't know what to say, whether I was dropped or I was fired. I don't even know what to say. And he says, "Comrade, I want to meet you and I can follow you wherever you are."
Yeah.
I'm a well-cultured African. You know me as a Pan-Africanist.
Yeah.
And I said to him, "My leader, you are an adult. I cannot sustain I cannot accept a thing where old people or an elderly person is the one to follow who? The young person. I'm the young one in this. I mean, between the two of us. Let me be the one to follow you." But in that moment, I just been dropped or fired. There were so many things happening. So many calls coming through. So many people giving a piece of advices. But I also got to a point where I said, look, I don't think I'm in the right state of mind to have any constructive conversation. Let me go home before I meet him. Digest this whole thing. Try to understand. And talk to people. When I'm in the right state of mind, even the next day, I'll be able to meet him and speak to these issues. So yes, he was waiting for me and I didn't pitch up. Not for any other reason. I wanted to manage my emotions. Look, we can't pretend we're all emotion beings. When something has gone wrong, any good leader worth their salt should never act when they're emotionally charged. And that's what I did. Because I didn't want to be found on the wrong side of history, where there will be report that I did not conduct myself well, or our conversation or our meeting, yielded unfortunate narrative.
For the sake of consistency, and I will repeat this question, you've been accused that you are a compromised person. You were given or purportedly or you allegedly received a 3 million kwacha from the ruling party. The question is, do you have any contact from the ruling party? Do you know anyone from the ruling party? And who gave you that money
answer it this
from
way.
the ruling party?
First and foremost, that narrative was pushed to try and discredit me.
Right.
If you look at all these seekers, there's only one objective: to try and discredit me. That's the whole objective. You don't have to be intelligent. All you need is to be a person of sound mind. That's all you need. To be a person of sound mind. Do I have contact in UPND?
Yeah.
Who doesn't have? Who doesn't have contact in UPND? Why do we have contacts? Because some of those people in UPND are our relatives, are our friends. Does Comrade Fred Membe have people in the UPND? Yes, he does. And all of us do. And it would be strange for any of our leaders to claim that we don't have contacts in the UPND. Look, politics does not divide us as a country. We are never enemies because we're in different political parties. No. There are many people I know. But Frank Wadi, we worked with him in Socialist Party. To this day I talked to him. He's a brother. I'm one of those he had a good interaction with. when we were in PF, as well as when we were in Socialist. But we worked together, we saved, we went to the by-election in Wanga together, we ate together. Suddenly, because in the new PND, I must treat him as an enemy. There was another narrative people were trying to push some few months ago, when me and Mark 2, who's my dear brother again, and we've come a long way with him, decided to have a meetup at Radisson Blue for a meal. At Radisson, in the restaurant, I met the National Youth Chairman, Trevor Mwinde. We decided to say hi to him because I know Trevor Mwinde is from Matero. He lived in Matero. I've met him before. I said hi, and the picture was taken. Kaunda has joined UPND. So now you have to join UPND from the hotel. Now you have to join UPND at Radisson Blue restaurant. Is that the way to join UPND? So I can't meet my colleagues in UPND when I meet them, the people I know. My dear young brother and colleague, Biswaniso, when I was a councillor, he was staying in my ward. There was a moment when I was a councillor and he got sick, I visited him. Because as a civic leader, your service is beyond the party line. I was a PF councillor in Mwembeshi, and Biswaniso lived within our community. And I hear he's unwell. At that time was Deputy National Youth Chairperson for UPND. And I decided to visit my brother. And from that time onward, our relationship is that of brothers rather. So if I meet Biswaniso, I must be able to run away. Is that the kind of politics you want us to exhibit in this time and age? I refuse to be part of that political narrative. Yes, I have colleagues in UPND. I have colleagues in CF. Not few days ago, I met my dear brother again, Max Chung, who's the National Youth Chairman for CF. I have a relationship with him in UPF. We met at some Chiranga Muliro. Must I run away from him because he's in a different political party? I have members of parliament who are my colleagues in PF. And we meet and we chat on many other things. Life is not about politics. Life is beyond politics. And we must never allow politics to separate us or divide us. Never.
Have you ever called for a congress, or rather a convention in your party, SP? There is a video which is being projected as though you called for a party convention in your party. How true is that?
You have played the entire video.
Yes.
I'm
asking this question just to repeat.
There was some point where I said Congress. And I went on to call it a press briefing.
Yeah.
Look, what is a Congress? It's not a congregation of people. And I've seen it being posted on the Socialist page. And they're driving a narrative. This is what Comrade Kaunda says. Congress, and manipulation and propaganda cannot be sustained. Oh, he said Congress. So why are you focusing on the word Congress? Why are you not focusing on the content? If I call a meeting a congregation, or I call it a congress, or I call it a press briefing, what is more important? What is being discussed, the agenda of the meeting, or rather the name the meeting has been given? Okay. Sometimes we may say general conference. Sometimes we say Congress. Sometimes it's a political bureau meetings. So why are they driving a narrative around the nature of the meeting and not the content of the meeting? There were people there who gathered. If I choose to, I can call it a congress of our members, or it's a congregation of our members. It was an audience of our members. So I call that, does it matter? And that's what my dear colleagues have picked and posted on their on their official page. To make me appear to be a bad person. Not for any other reason. To paint me black. That's the only reason. So why are they not discussing the content of the meeting? This is what he said. Oh, when during my introduction I says, welcome to this Congress, or to this congregation. And that's where they want to focus on. And not on what was discussed in that so-called Congress, or press briefing, or congregation.
How do you manage the discontent? Let's manage our time, of course. I'm being told we've got 10 minutes remaining. But how do you intend to manage this tension within your party? Because really, a fortnight ago, we were told again, or we read on the Facebook page of Dr. Membe, again making a public announcement that tomorrow they will be going to change the papers at the Registrar of Societies. Who are those people who are intending to go and make changes at the Registrar of Societies?
Again, thank you very much. They gave us that, I saw that thing being posted on Emmanuel Mwamba, among others. And I'm sorry, my brother Emmanuel Mwamba, because I follow your page. These other pages, sometimes I don't even follow them. So some of the things I get to see them on your platform. That's why I keep on referring to your page. It's not intended rather to be malicious about you, no. So if I cite your page, sometimes it's because I follow your page. Okay? Again, I saw that narrative that Dr. Fred Membe has said tomorrow morning, which is a Monday, which was yesterday, that the party office bearers for SP will be changed. And unfortunately, when he featured on Auto FM radio in the morning, and again he was asked by the interviewer, by the presenter there, who's going to change those names? And again he says, Kelvin Kaunda. A very unfortunate accusation. If it was any other person, I would have sued them for defamation. But because it's him, I will let it pass, because it's not true. Comrade, yesterday I posted on my Facebook page. Where was I? Our Chancellor, Our Excellence, Chileshe Kapwepwe, at the bereavement. Me and my entire team spent the whole day at a funeral, at a burial program. First we were at the cathedral, and later on we went to Memorial Park. And at Memorial Park, there are even witnesses. I saw President Kateka there. I saw Mwabi Rungu there. Chiruvanama there. And among other leaders, we were all there. But to be told that Kaunda...
Sorry, is it Chiruvanama or Chirumanda?
Chirumanda, sorry. Sorry, my sister, apologies.
That's correct.
Yes. Chiruvanama was there. Chirumanda, sorry, was there. Among other key leaders. We were all there. But to be told in the morning, on a live radio program, that Kaunda is the one who's going to change the office bearers of the party, is that unfortunate? That's not the way you treat your colleagues, because there's no evidence. In the name of we have intelligence report. How intelligent is that intelligent report? If it can't bring out the truth, if it can't project the fact. I am not, look, people, Comrade IP, you knew me way before I joined politics. I have no criminal record anywhere else. I'm not a criminal. I've never appeared before any court on a criminal charge. I've been in court on civil matters, purely on business line. To be projected as a criminal now, because I've been bought, is rather unfortunate. Even when you want to separate with your brothers, treat them well. Because life is a vicious circle. You never know where else you meet. Today, this agenda which has been set against me to try and destroy me, to bring me down, on the basis of propaganda, is that unfortunate? If there was anything that I was guilty of by today, people would have aired it out. Today is a Tuesday. Yesterday was a Monday. Monday has passed. You are an investigative journalist. Go to the Registrar of Society. Ask them. If I don't even know where they are. I've never registered a political party. I don't even know how forms looks like at the Registrar of Societies. I've never even visited them. I've never been there. If there are cameras there, Those who are purporting that they have intelligence, let them show, let them go and get some footage. If there's a place I don't even know where the offices are, it's a registrar of societies. Because I've never registered a society. I've never registered a political party. So why all this? So the only crime I committed is to pitch, is to package myself as a leader. The only crime I committed as a young person is present myself for leadership. Should young people in this country not present themselves for leadership? If they do, should they be treated as criminals? The last time I checked, leaders are never successful until their successor succeeds. If we cannot project ourselves now as potential leaders, when? When our leaders are invited upstairs and they are part of our ancestors? If we can't begin to present ourselves as leaders now, so when are we going to do that?
So with all what has happened, Comrade KK, if, for example, because clearly what I'm getting from you, and also when I read through the sentiments coming from Dr. Fred Membe, you are not on the same page. You are not singing from the same hymn book, the two of you. If the door was to be open, would you be available for any possible reconciliation?
I believe in forgiveness, but I also believe in truth. Reconciliation without honesty is a facade. So until the real issues are addressed, returning will only perpetuate the same circle.
Right. And your readiness for leadership, again, I will ask this question for the sake of our consistency. Your preparedness for leadership as well. How does that look like now?
It looks very responsibility, empathy, and integrity. It's not about chairs or titles.
Right.
It's about changing the culture of fear and silence. Zambia needs leadership that listens, leadership that unites, and leadership which is ready to serve.
Do you regret releasing that video? At least
No,
as
I
of
don't.
now.
No, I don't. I don't. Not at all. If anything, I'm grateful that I released that video. You know why?
No.
That video exposed the truth. Not just about how I'm viewed, but about how leadership itself is misunderstood in our political space. If saying I'm ready to lead is considered betrayal, then perhaps our politics needs a deeper soul search.
Wow. What did you say again?
I am saying, comrade, that I don't regret, not at all. I do not regret. Because my conscience is clear. There's nothing wrong I did. I never committed any crime. If anything, and I want to repeat what I said earlier on, if anything, I am extremely grateful that I released that video. For the reason that that video has exposed the truth. Not just about how I was viewed. There's a certain perception, what was created around me in terms of how people viewed me. But also about how leadership itself is misunderstood in our political space. Really, if he's saying I'm ready to lead, can ignite all this dust, all this confusion, and is considered to be a betrayal, then perhaps our politics needs a deeper sausage. Politics must be redefined, and we must be ready to give it its meaningful meaning.
Perhaps my second last question as you face into that camera. What would you tell the people watching the program in regards to, including those, of course, that may be having that feeling or that readiness for leadership, but perhaps they do not feel, they don't have the courage to come out and declare interest as well?
Comrade IP, I would tell them, especially to my fellow young people, This is about you to begin with. This is about you, the young people. And I want you to pay attention. Young people, this is about you. I would tell them to speak nothing but the truth. Leadership isn't about being liked, it's about being real. If you wait for permission to be courageous, you wait forever. Zambia's future belongs to those who are ready to lead, not to those who are afraid to try.
Wow.
So the young people must never be afraid to try. Must never be intimidated to pitch themselves up for leadership. And leadership is a different level. We, at the end of the day, we are all leaders even without titles, comrade. If I say I'm ready to lead, what if I was ready to lead to go back as a councillor? What if I was ready to go back as an MP? What if I was ready to lead as a mayor? And my appeal on behalf of the young people to the older generation, please don't be intimidated by us, the emerging young people in leadership. We mean well. And getting into 2026 general election, I would be one of those who will be happy to see a good number of young people standing up for leadership. Because a mixture of both the young and the old will give us the perfect mix for this country's national leadership.
Right. Kelvin, Kaunda, Keke, thank you so much for coming through to the bigger program. We wish you the best in your political endeavors. And of course, we will keep on monitoring on how this whole confusion is going to be resolved amongst you and your leader.
Maybe if I had the last question to ask the Zambian people, if tomorrow I woke up and said, I've resigned from SP, what would you say? It's always a pleasure to be part of your program, Comrade IP.
Resigning from the SP, joining the ruling party?
It's not for me to answer. We've given the context. We've given our story. What would the Zambian people say? I want to leave this question to the Zambian people for their reflection.
Do you intend to resign from SP?
At this point, my focus is reflection and service. And I'll continue to engage the citizen because they're the employers. I'll not focus my mind on the politicians. The real employers of politicians are the citizens. So I'll continue engaging them, and they will have a final say as to our next course of action.
But do you intend, do you
for
desire
me.
to resign from SP?
It's not for me to state. Public office belongs to the citizens of this country, Comrade IP.
Right.
If the Zambian people say stay, I'll stay. If they say leave, I'll leave. The citizen of this great country, who are the employers? Sometimes we as leaders and politicians think the power we possess belongs to us. It doesn't. It belongs to the Zambian people, the citizens. Mine, between now and then, is to continue engaging the Zambian people, the citizen of this great country in prospect. And I want to assure them, what they will say is what I will follow. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Keke.
Anytime.